Okay, so good day programmers. Let's now move to our next lesson, and ito yung in this lesson, di bali dalawa yung matatakal natin dito. So kung tayo ay nasa week 5 and week 6 ang matatakal natin dito. And after this, merong quiz tayo, dalawang 10 items. Okay, so after you watch this video, pwede ka na pumunta sa silid at i-take yung mga quizzes natin from this lesson. Now, so let's start. It's about the introduction to the to programming and computer programmers. So here's are the learning competencies from this slide. By the end, each one of you should be able to define computer programming, explain the roles and responsibilities of a computer programmer, define what an IDE is, understand programming syntax, and explain what debugging is and why it is necessary. Now, programming is the process of writing instructions that a computer can follow to complete tasks or solve problems. Now, it also involves with the designing algorithms and writing them in a language that the computer understand. So meaning, there's a language na ginagamit ang mga computer na somehow yun yung paraan para maintindihan tayo ng computer kung ano yung gusto nating ipagawa sa kanya. Now, programming gives the computer a step-by-step guide to achieve results. Ano-ano yung mga yan. So, yan yung tinatawag nating algorithms. So, algorithms are like recipes, step-by-step procedures that programming translate into code. Now, computer don't understand human language. Now, programmers use a language like Python, Java, C++ to write instruction for the computer to understand us. And ang tawag sa kanila is code. So, which is a actual written instruction in a programming language. Now, the ultimate goal of programming is to solve problems and to automate process or create software applications. Programmers create, so sila yung nagke-create, nagte-test, and nagme-maintain ng code. Now, they make sure software and apps are functions correctly. Now, here's our the core responsibilities of a programmer. So, first, writing code. So, computer programmers use programming languages to write the instruction that tell the computer what to do. So, hindi naman magsusulat ng sariling code si computer. So, si computer programmer mismo ang nagsusulat ng code kung paano maiintindihan ni computer si computer programmer in a specific task na gusto niyang ipagawa sa kanya. And then we have this testing code. So, iyan yung isa sa mga core responsibility din ni computer programmer na para ma-assure niya na understandable yung kanyang sinulat na code at talagang maiintindihan nito the way na gustong maintindihan ni computer programmer yung gusto niya sabihin doon sa computer o gusto niya pagawa sa computer. And then, maintaining and updating code. So, you write the code, you maintain it, and you update it. Bakit kailangan ng update? Because they're an upgrade sa mga ginagamit natin ng mga computer. So, isang example niyan, dati, naka-Android, I think the latest is Android 15. So, before, Android 13 lang yan, Android Lollipop lang yan, hanggang sa na-move na upgrade. So, kailangan din ma-update yung mga code na ginagamit natin para makaabot din siya, makahabol siya sa pagkakaroon ng upgrade hindi lang sa software, maging sa mga hardwares. And then another responsibility ng isang computer programmer is to collaborate with other team members. So they often work with software developers, designers, and other team members to understand project requirements and ensure the code aligns with the overall goals. Ito naman yung mga specific tasks that a programmer do. So first is to translate design into code. So programmers convert design specification into functional code, often working with detailed diagrams and models. Ano pa yung kanyang ginagawa? Developing and deploying the software. So after they write a code for a new application or website, ang susunod niyang ginagawa is to deploy it. During this deployment, andito na yung testing, andito din yung production. Another thing is yung troubleshooting and debugging. Sa part naman ito is kapag nagkakaroon ng problem or nagmamalfunction yung system, yung application, yung program, so ang ginagawa ni programmer is mag-troubleshoot at mag-debug. And working for different systems, which is they need to adapt code from different operating systems or platforms. So mamaya di-discuss natin ano-ano ba yung mga operating systems na yan or system softwares na pwedeng gamitin. So they have also libraries para makapag-save ng time. So programmers leverage existing code libraries to streamline their work and improve efficiency. So for example, gumawa sila ng code for addition. So that's a library na kinikip nila yung code na iyon, nang sa gayon tatawagin na lang nila ito kapag kailangan nila. Ang tawag naman doon is function. Tinatawag na lang nila yung function para magamit kung ano yung ginagamit o ginagawa ng specific program. And then syempre mahalaga din yung writing documentation. Mahalaga ito para sa if in case na hindi na nila hawak yung project at meron ng ibang hawak ng project, through documentation, mas madaling malalaman nung bagong programmer kung paano i-update or kung paano i-edit yung existing system na dinatnan niya. And syempre, stay update with new technology. So yun yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina na mahalaga na nagkakaroon ng upgrade or update doon sa system nila. Another example nito, we are using Facebook, right? Kapag gumagamit tayo ng Facebook, minsan, di ba, nagkakaroon ng downtime na kung saan meron ding mga maintenance sila na ginagawa para unang-una para makaiwas doon sa mga nangahack sa kanila at para doon sa security ng mga information na meron doon sa Facebook. So they update the code, the system, and the software. Now, what is IDE? So, punta naman tayo. Kasi kanina, programmer, and then punta na tayo kay IDE. Si IDE, it is an integrated development environment na kung saan isa siyang uri ng software that helps programmer to write a test, to write and to test, and also to organize yung code efficiently. So, isa yung environment kung saan isinusulat yung mga code na gagamitin ni programmer para maintindihan siya ni computer. There are key components of IDE. So, ito yung mga tools or tools na included kay IDE. Yung first is yung source code editor. Kung saan, dito tayo nag-e-edit, dito tayo nag-write, dito tayo nag-modify ng mga source code natin. At usually, may mga features ito ng mga nag-highlight ng mga syntax. So, code completion and code formatting. So, kapag nagwo-work na tayo, ang gagamitin kasi natin na platform para makapaggawa tayo or mag-code tayo doon sa ating HTML is Notepad++. So, kapag ginamit na natin yon, makikita nyo yung hina-highlight nyo yung mga text na reserved words na kung saan ginagamit na HTML to call a specific function. And meron din tayong build automation tools, utilities to automate the process. of compiling, linking, and package software, transforming source code into executable program. So, ito hindi natin ito magagawa kasi nga dahil HTML yung file natin, ang kailangan lang natin is open siya through our web browsers. Siyempre, may debugger din na kung saan dito natin nakikita kung may mga errors ba doon sa ating code na nag-aalaw sa atin para malaman natin kung paano natin naayusin or i-debug yung ating program. Also, we have this project management tool. So, sa features naman ito is for organizing and managing files, which is the libraries and other resources associated with a software project. So, through that, yung mga libraries na yan, kinocall na lang natin siya through function para gawin yung specific na task na gusto nating ipagawa sa kanya. Pero ito, hindi naman natin to usually magagamit dahil nga we're going to use HTML. And by the way, si HTML ay hindi isang uri ng programming language. Kasi isa siyang hypertext markup language siya. Another is yung version control. So, often IDE is integrated with version control system to manage changes to the code base and facilitate collaboration among developers. So, ang ginagawa niya dito ay makontrol yung version ng programs natin. At syempre, pinakamahalaga is yung graphical user interface na kung saan some IDEs include tools for visually designing and building graphical user interfaces. So, kasi ang goal kasi talaga nito, maging user-friendly siya kasi nga, it is a platform na kung saan magkakaintindihan si computer at si programmer. Here's are the samples of IDEs. So, meron tayong IntelliJ IDEA, a powerful IDE especially for Java with support other languages like Kotlin, Groovy, and Scala. Etong Eclipse, ginagamit ko talaga to personally. So, a widely used free and open source IDE, particularly popular for Java development but also support other languages. So, I do remember nung ginagamit ko yung Xzip, ang ginagamit kong programming language is Java programming and also yung Python programming, if I'm not mistaken. And we have this Visual Studio, a comprehensive IDE for Microsoft, supporting wide range of languages and platforms, including C#, .NET, and web development. So, naalala ko dati gumawa kami ng sarili naming web browser. So, si Visual Studio yung ginawa namin. So, yan yung isa sa mga way kung saan pwedeng gumawa ng web browser and also ng website mo. And another thing, meron tayong PyCharm. Ayan. A Python-focused IDE known for its code analysis, debugging, and web development tool. So, ayan, napakaganda yung Python programming. Xcode. So, Apple's IDE for developing application on Mac OS, iOS, watchOS, and tvOS primarily using Swift and Objective-C. So, ayan yung gamit niya. Now, Android Studio, from the word itself, Android Studio, so it is Android programming ang pinag-uusapan dito. At ito ay ginagamit para makapag-create ng mga Android application. Siyempre, supporting din ng Java and Kotlin. NetBeans, yan, ginagamit ko rin siyan for Java programming. Tapos, andyan din si C++. Yan yung isa sa mga pinagagamitan ko ng NetBeans before. Meron din tayong Visual Studio Code. So, a lightweight customized source code editor with strong support for many languages and framework. So, parang kagaya yung kanina natin na IDE na binanggit. We have the Atom, another lightweight and highly customizable IDE for GitHub. Another example, Jupyter Notebook and RS Studio, which is si RS Studio ay popular naman to for R programming. Ayun. Now, let's move to the syntax. So, syntax in programming refers to the set of rules that indicated how code must be written and structured within a specific programming language for it to be considered valid and understandable by the computer. So, parang yan yung pinaka-sentence. For example, si Carlo ay isang programmer. So, yun yung tamang pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga words para mas madali siyang maintindihan o para masabi natin na tama yung kanyang sentence. So, si Carlo ay isang programmer. So, that's how syntax. Okay? And it analogous to grammar and punctuation rules in human languages. So, kung gumagamit tayo dito ng tuldok, quit. So, iba't ibang IDE or programming languages ay gumagamit din ng mga bagay na yan. Now, in HTML, ang ginagawa kasi natin, meron tayong start tag at saka end tag kung tawagin natin. So, kung may didiscuss naman natin yan later on, pero sa HTML kasi, merong opening tag at saka yung end tag niya. There are key aspects of syntax, which includes reserved words, specific words that have predefined meaning within the language and cannot be used for other purposes. Example, yung if, else, for, and while. So, naka-reserve yung words na yan na kung saan specifically, hindi natin siya pwedeng gamitin on our programming para sa sarili nating identification kasi is already defined by the programming language. And for syempre operators, gumagamit din tayo niyan, yung addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, equal, and equal to. And then for punctuation naman, like semicolons para ma-terminate natin yung statement natin or para sabihin natin yung statement natin ay tapos na. For example, 'di ba sa atin pag sinabi ko si Carlo ay isang programmer, tuldok. So, tinasabi ko, kapag gumamit ako ng tuldok, tapos na yung aking sentence. So, ganun din specifically, each statement na pwedeng gamitin kapag tayo ay nag-write na ng code natin. And then for structure and arrangement, there are rules on how statement, expression, and blocks of code are organized, including indentation, line breaks, and other elements within a statement. Ang experience ko before sa Python programming, walang tuldok quit. Ang specification or requirement niya para masabi mo na tapos na yung statement mo, na program mo, kailangan ng indentation. So, hindi sila magkapantay. So, kapag halimbawa, sinabi ko, print F or print hello. So, para masabi ko na tapos na siya, i-indent ko siya. So, there's an indentation. And then, syempre, yung naming ng convention. So, rules for defining valid names for variables, function, and other identifiers. So, during sa aming face-to-face class ng aking mga students, umabot kami ng JavaScript. So, more on introduction lang naman kami ng HTML, introduction ng CSS, introduction ng JavaScript, na kung saan nakagawa na kami ng sarili naming login form, at kapag tama yung password at yung username na inilagay ni user, automatically mapupunta siya doon sa may website, and then there are different websites na pinag-connect namin. So, mas madaling ma-identify yung pag-name ng mga file kung tama yung purpose niya. For example, yung file na ito ay para mag-display ng resume. So, bakit pangalanan mo siya ng resume? Kasi yun naman pala talaga yung kanyang gagawin. So, ganun din sa naming ng conventions or ng pag-define ng mga valid names para sa mga variables na pwedeng gamitin natin during programming. So, we also have the adhering to syntax rules is crucial because, syempre, si compiler and interpreter na iba yung kanyang naiintindihan. So, the computer, compiler, or interpreter relies on strict adherence to syntax to correctly parse and execute the code. For example, may experience ako na ganito. Yung isang student, sabi niya sa akin, Sir, kailangan ko ng tulong. Pakita ko po sa inyo yung code ko. So, nalapitan ko siya. Pagtingin ko sa kanya doon, sabi niya, okay naman po yung code ko, pero hindi po gumagana. Bakit ayaw pong mag-run? So, chinek ko sa kanya, ang mali niya lang is walang end tag na ginamit para sa HTML file niya. So, doon sa HTML code niya, walang end tag. So, nagresulta to, hindi na-run yung buong code niya. So, isang lang yon, isang character lang yung namali niya doon. So, kasi nga, si compiler natin, si interpreter natin, strict yan pagdating sa syntax. So, kailangan tama yung pagko-code natin para ma-execute natin yung code. And also for error prevention, ayan. So, violation of syntax rules lead to syntax error which prevent the program from compiling or running. And also for readability, ayan, and maintainability. Consistent syntax makes code easier for developers to read, understand, and maintain especially in collaborative environment. For example, di ba, sabi natin kanina, si programmer gumagawa din ng documentation yan para yung susunod na programmer na magme-maintenance o hahawak na ng programs niya ay mas madali niyang maintindihan kung paano isunulat yung program at kung ano-ano ang ginagawa ng mga specific codes na yon. Okay? Another thing is yung part ng sa syntax naman. Ayan. So, each programming language has its unique syntax, although some general principles and patterns may be shared across languages families. So, trivia lang. Just sa trivia. So, sabi natin yung syntax kasi is a way kung paano isinusulat yung specific language. So, halimbawa, si Carlo ay programmer, that is Filipino or Tagalog. Kapag yan ay isinulat sa wikang Bisaya o Bicolano o other pa na mga salita dito sa Pilipinas or even in English, iba-iba yung way kung paano siya maisulat pero magkakamukha lang ng ibig sabihin. So ganun din naman si syntax. So understanding and correctly applying the syntax of a given language is fundamental to writing functional and effective programs. So for example, ang programming language mo ay, ang declaration mo ay Java. So, hindi babasahin ni Java language, Java programming, yung HTML code na isinusulat mo. Kasi nga, ang naiintindihan niya is Java. So, debugging process of the finding, analysis, and removing errors, which is also known as bugs, from computer software or hardware. Ayan. Another thing, si syntax, it is essential because bugs can cause software to malfunction, produce incorrect results, or even crash, leading to a poor user experience and potential data loss. So, since we are working with data, napakahalaga na tama yung syntax na ginagamit natin to really ma-identify nung program or nung system or nung IDE natin kung ano bang language ang ginagamit natin at ma-execute ng maayos yung line of code na ating isinulat. And then debugging ensures software function as intended and is reliable. So, syempre kaya nga tayo nagsusulat ng code para maintindihan ni computer kung ano yung gusto nating ipagawa sa kanya or ni software kung ano yung specifically na gagawin ni software. So, ang purpose kung bakit dapat tama yung syntax na ginagawa natin is for debugging at mas madali na mahanap yung error o yung mali doon sa ating line of codes nang sa gayon ay properly ma-execute ng application na ginagawa natin yung gusto nating mangyari. So, dito na tayo sa debugging. So, what is debugging? So, syempre, pag sinabi nating debugging, we find error. So, that number one. So, debugging involves identifying where errors occur within the code or system. So, nirun natin yung program, hindi nag-run, nasaan yung error? Kagaya ng example ko sa inyo kanina. Yung aking student, hindi daw gumagana yung kanyang program, yun pala, meron palang mali doon sa kanyang syntax. And then, analyzing the error. So, once identified, errors need to be analyzed to understand their root cause and how they affect and software's behavior. So, ma-analyze natin bakit hindi gumagana yung specific function na tinatawag natin or specific function na inilagay natin sa ating software. At syempre, kaya tayo nagde-debug is ma-remove yung errors na yan. So, kasi gusto natin siyang ma-fix nang sa gayon ay gumana ng maayos yung ating software. So, the final step is to correct the error either by modifying the code or implementing a workaround. So, why debugging is necessary? So, there are some reasons here. Number one, Unang-una is yung software works properly. So, ayan ang goal kasi natin, kaya tayo nagde-debug. Gusto natin, yung system na ginawa natin, yung software or application na ginawa natin, mag-work siya properly. Pangalawa is yung reliability. Dahil we are working with data, we want our data are protected. So, through debugging, masisure natin na tama yung line of codes natin to run a specific function na gusto nating gawin through our programs or software. At syempre, si user experience. So, gusto natin na ma-feel ni user na okay at dapat gamitin yung ating software at kapag ginagamit niya ito, safe yung kanyang mga informations. At napakalaga, security. For example, website ng bangko. At doon, pag nag-login ka, makikita yung pera or yung finances mo. So, we don't want to lose our finances because of the bug that meron sa ating mga application or programs or even sa ating website. At syempre, code quality. So, may kaugnayan na naman dito si programmer na kung sakali binitawan niya na yung project, merong ibang hawak, mas madali at mas madaling maintindihan nung bagong hawak ng program niya kung ano yung ginagawa ng specific nung software na kanyang ginawa. So in essence, debugging is an integral part of the software development lifecycle. So ensuring that the final product meets the required standards of functionality and reliability. At syempre, ang security. So, ito yung mga example ng programming languages na ginagamit. So, meron tayong Python programming. So, actually, yung nagagawa ng Python, nagagawa ng Java, nagagawa ng JavaScript, pwede naman yan. Pero, meron talagang specific programming languages in a different task na gusto mong gawin. So, meron tayong Python programming, Java programming, JavaScript, which is, hopefully, ay meron pa tayong enough time para ma-discuss ko ito. Meron tayong C++, C#, PHP. So, PHP naman, ito naman ay ginagamit for networking or database pala, sorry. For database. So, si C++ naman, widely used for game development, ginagamit yan. Ruby, so hindi ako ganong familiar kay Ruby, di pa ako nakagamit yan, pero isa yan. Si Go lang, si Swift. Siyempre yung Swift kasi kay Apple's programming language naman yan. And SQL naman natin. So, which is ito naman yung pagmamanipulate ng data para doon sa ating database. So, malaging magkasama si PHP at saka si SQL. Now, punta na tayo kay HTML and CSS. So, si HTML and CSS are not generally classified as programming languages. Now, bakit hindi sila clarified as programming languages? Kasi, they lack the core feature that define a programming language. Ano yon? Implement, logic, and control flow. So, hindi kasi tayo gumagamit kay HTML, kay CSS ng if or ng mga operators na pinakita natin kanina. Yung equal, multiplication, division, subtraction, equal to. So, hindi tayo gumagamit ng gano'n kay HTML and CSS. So, si HTML kasi is a markup language. Ano yung ibig sabihin nun? It is usually used for structuring content on the web. So, web development siya, paggawa siya ng website. It defines elements like headings, paragraphs, images, and links, but it does not contain instruction to perform operation or manipulate data. Wala tayong minamanipulang data dito or mag-perform lang operation, kundi mag-create lamang ng mga code para makapag-display tayo ng mga content doon sa ating website. So, it's about describing the structure and content of a document. Ngayon, si CSS naman, siya naman yung nagbibigay ng styling ng content kay HTML. So, siya naman yung nagbibigay ng design. For example, ang code ko for HTML, yung content sa document, yung pangalan ko, Carlo Cruz. So, that's all, Carlo Cruz. Lagyan ko ng header, makapal siya, pero para magkaroon siya ng design at mas gumanda yung nakikita, naka-display sa screen natin, gagamitan natin siya ng CSS. So, ayun na yung colors, fonts, and layout. So, si CSS a style sheet language, while can involve complex rules and calculations, it still primarily describe presenting rather than executing computational logic. So, si HTML and CSS, ang goal niyan mag-display. Okay? And Kaya hindi rin nakasama si CSS at HTML, lack of programming construct. So, traditionally, programming languages possess features like variables. Pag sinabing variables, ito yung pinag-i-store, pinaglalagyan natin ng data na gagamitin natin for the manipulation of data. Meron din tayo mga conditional statement dyan, yung if, else if, while, for loop, ayan. Meron din, ito yung mga loops naman to repeat actions multiple times. So, hindi tayo gumagamit ng ganun through HTML and CSS. And then functions and subroutines to encapsulate reusable blocks of code. So, hindi tayo gumagamit din yan. So, parang ano din yan, parang libraries. Now, while HTML and CSS are essential for web development and are interpreted by web browsers to render web pages, ang purpose nila and capabilities ay nag-iiba talaga mula doon sa mga programming languages na binanggit ko kanina, kagaya ni Java, PHP, C++. So kasi sila nakafocus yung mga programming language na yon na magkaroon ng computation or algorithm execution. Si HTML and CSS, ang goal ay mag-display ng mga information na gusto nating makita sa ating website. Ayan. So, I think that's all for this lesson. So, if you have questions, don't forget na puntahan nyo lang yung ating silid and you can ask me a question there. So, yun lang. By the way, expect a quiz. Dalawa yung magiging quiz natin for these lessons. Thank you!